For another question here is, for a complex investigation, is there case law in terms of what's the absolute max time limit on an investigation, or industry wide? Is there a general consensus that it should not exceed a year? There's no case law in terms of the absolute time limit on an investigation, but certainly the average timeline would be 2 to 4 months for an investigation. And again, it depends on the circumstances of the case, right? So when I say circumstances, we're looking at the number of individuals involved and to what extent individuals are available and willing to meet with you. I was retained by a school board back in May to conduct an investigation. We tried to meet with the complainant, and that complainant was working with an advocacy group. For whatever reason, this individual was taking weeks to get back to us and to provide us with a date and to really, cooperate in terms of scheduling that meeting. So you get these delays, out of the blue that you can't anticipate. I anticipated that after being retained, we would have met with the complainant in pretty short order, and for that process to extend from May into June before we were able to sit down with the individual, it was troubling for me and troubling for the client, and unfortunately was a sign of things to come as far as the lack of cooperation there. So you sometimes can't predict what level of cooperation you're going to get, and certainly people go on sick leave during an investigation, witnesses go on vacation, and you just don't have folks accessible to you. But it's rare for an investigation to take, I would say, even more than 6 months. So the 1 year limit that is indicated, again, I don't know the scope of that investigation and how many people are involved and the number of respondents and to what extent folks are available, and if there's anything that explains that delay. But if things are chugging along in the normal course, that does seem like an extraordinarily long time. When we get an investigation, we have a workflow that we drop that investigation into, and we have and we monitor how things are going relative to that workflow, and are things happening on that anticipated schedule. So, and if it's not happening, then that's where we're having regular communications with the client to say, look, here's what we anticipated, here's what the other side is doing, and here's where we need your help, or here's how we're going to work around the situation, whatever the case might be, to move the investigation forward.